Salam, my brothers. I hope you're well. I'm very well. I wanted to do a video on bodybuilding myths. I still see these common misconceptions, and I want you, my viewers, to be better informed and realize that these are just myths that have been carried around for so long. All right, let's start them off. I actually have 7 of them, so here we go. I hear this all the time. I don't want to get too big because my muscles were, when I stop working out, my muscles will turn to fat. Completely false, impossible. Muscle and fat are 2 different tissues. If you ever cook and you cut open a chicken, you see the fat and you see the muscle meat. Or steak. When you cut open a steak, where you're having steak, you'll see the fat layers, you'll see the fat completely separate from the meat. So fat is a different tissue, muscle is a different tissue. One does not convert into the other. All right, it just won't happen. It doesn't happen. We have this conception because we see these bodybuilders that are in shape, they're cut, defined and everything, and then when we see them off season, we see them all fat and bulky. It doesn't mean that the muscle turned into fat. It just means that they're off season, they're consuming probably more calories, and they have fat on top of the muscles. So the muscles are still there. It's just that now they got a fat suit on. So it looks like the fat converted to muscle, but they don't convert. They're actually 2 different tissues. They do not convert, okay? So don't ever say that again. You should know better now. I also hear often women saying, they don't want to work out with weights because they're going to get too muscular. Trust me, even if you wanted to get too muscular, you couldn't. Ask the brothers, they're busting their ass off in the gym trying to get too muscular, and they can't. So don't worry about it. Genetically, you don't have the same amount of testosterone, you don't have the same makeup, you will not get too muscular. For the women, go ahead and use weight. My wife uses weights, she goes heavy, no problem. It'll help you lose weight. You won't get too muscular if you use weights or if you use heavy weights. No problem. All right? I see this in the gym a lot. I see these fat guys and they're doing crunches or they're doing sit-ups, thinking that the more sit-ups they do, the smaller their stomach will get. This is the #1 question I get all the time. My brothers will ask me, hey, I'm fine everywhere. I just right on the stomach. What exercise can I do for the stomach to make my stomach smaller? There is no exercise to make your stomach smaller. Exercise itself will just tone the muscle. It will not remove the layers of fat that you have on top of it. The only thing that will remove the layers of fat on top of it is cardio. So you can do 1,000 push-ups, you can do 1,000 push-ups until you're blue in the face. It's not going to do anything for your waist. It's not going to do anything for the fat on top of the muscle. Yes, it'll tone the muscle, the abs a little bit, but that's it. So if you're overweight, forget the abs, forget the crunches, forget the sit-ups, just focus on cardio. Okay, that 10, 15, 20 minutes of cardio will be much more effective than spending 2 hours of doing abs exercises. Okay, now you know better. Don't ever repeat this to anyone again because you'll sound like a retard. Okay, eating late at night will make you fat. To a degree, this is true. If, for example, you've been working all day and you didn't eat, and it's the end of the day and you don't want to eat before, I can't eat because it's the end of the day, and I'm going to get fat, it's going to convert to fat. No, the total amount of calories that you need to take in for the day are more important. That rule is more important than eating late at night. Now, if you've consumed your total caloric intake, yes, if you eat before going to bed, you're going to have a caloric surplus. Yes, that will make you fat. But if you're still under your caloric total daily intake, you should eat before you're going to bed. Try to maintain your caloric intake for the day. This is much more important than whether you eat at night or you don't eat at night. Another one is sugar is bad. To a degree, this is true also. Sugar is bad. It plays with your insulin. I know I have a lot of videos talking about that. The only time where actually sugar is a good thing, an advantage, is actually post-workout. Post-workout, we actually want the sugar spike. We want to impact the insulin, so it takes in the protein, and the carbs help shuttle in the protein. So after a workout, sugar is actually good. I actually have a tablespoon of honey. So this is pure sugar. I mean, this is sucrose, right? This is honey, pure sugar. I actually have a tablespoon of honey post-workout with some oats, my carbs, and a protein shake, whey protein shake. So I do have a honey or dates after post-workout. So sugar is not bad all the time. Eating fat will make you fat. That's another one. Not necessarily. You do need certain amount of fat. So you should be taking in, they say, on a maintenance calorie, if you're not cutting, if you're just on a maintenance diet, you should be taking 20 to 30% of your total daily caloric intake should come from good fats. Now the good fats being almonds, olive oil, avocados, stuff like that. Clean sources, oily fish, salmon, no problem. 20 to 30% for your is what's recommended for a maintenance diet. If you're on a cutting diet, you could decrease that, but you can't decrease it for too long. So 6 weeks, 8 weeks, 9 weeks maybe. You could decrease it a little bit lower. You can cut your fats a little lower, but you can't go too long on that because it's going to impact your testosterone levels and it's just not healthy. So it's recommended always to have a little bit of good fat. Also, another myth is that you can gain weight or you can gain muscle and lose fat at the same time. You can't really do that. You can't do that because you're either, to gain muscle, you have to have a caloric surplus. To lose body fat, you have to have a caloric deficit. So either you have a caloric surplus or deficit in your diet. You can't have both. So if you have a surplus, yes, you can gain muscle. If you have a deficit, yes, you can lose the fat. So you can't really do both at the same time. It's one or the other. Unless you're a beginner, your muscles have not been conditioned, they will just respond to any impact, any stress on them. So if you're a beginner, yes, you can gain muscle, lose fat at the same time. But if you've been working out for a little bit of time, no, it's one or the other. So you need to focus on one or the other. You will not get both at the same time. I hope this was useful. Give me some feedback. Let me know. Salam. Thanks for watching.